I don't want to make this video either. But a friend of mine asked me how we got ourselves in this mess. So if you want to find out how I got, or how we, Jeremy and I, got into over $100,000 worth of debt, tune in. Grab yourself a beer. This one might be a while. We're not going to start at the beginning because it's a little too long ago. But I will tell you, Jeremy and I will be celebrating 19 years of marriage this summer. So in 19, or, marriage, that's marriage. We knew each other way before then. That's a long time to rack up some debt. So, not to toot our own horn, but in the last 12 years, we have only racked up over $100,000 of debt. So, yay! I can't say that we have never been debt-free in our marriage, because there was a time we were. And then we did it again. It's what everyone does. It's what I was taught. How we got into this mess has a lot to do with how you grow up and how your parents and your family members in society says to deal with money. My mother was the queen of credit cards. And when I say the queen of credit cards, I thought, I say, hey, I'm the queen of credit cards. If there was a store and it offered a credit card, I had it. Okay, she had it. She had, the black credit card. She had limits. My biggest credit card was a $9,000 credit card. And I know some of you are like, what the heck? If you've just started watching me, I said $9,000. It's gone now. But yeah, I had it. She had way more. She had way more. She had MasterCards times 6. She had Platinums. She had, Kohl's, JCPenney's, Sears, every credit card. I'm trying to think. Every single one that was offered, she had it. She had it. So, of course, what do I learn? I learn credit cards. Credit cards. Way of life, right? Wrong. I should have listened to my dad. But my dad has his own plans. His plan, he was in real estate. Get a mortgage. Always have a mortgage. If you have 7 properties, you have 6 mortgages. Yeah. And I say that from experience. You buy one house for $5,000. Buy a house for $5,000. Everyone's like, who does that? It's not possible to buy it. Yes, it is. It's called a sheriff's sale or back taxes. And then you take that $5,000 condemned house that no one wanted and you fix it up. And you fix it up so it's worth $20,000. And then you mortgage that free and clear home for $20,000. And then you go buy another house and then you fix that one up and you mortgage it. And if you paid off yours in that time, you mortgage it again because now it's worth $39,000. So you mortgage that one again while you have that one mortgaged, and then you go buy another one. Okay, so we have credit cards and we have real estate. We have mortgages and we have credit cards. Crazy. It was crazy. Okay, so at least my husband meets me, says, no, we're not doing that. I only did it once. We only did it once. We bought our starter home. We paid it completely off. And I mortgaged it to the hilt. It was worth $39,999. Guess what I do? I mortgage it for the whole worth of it. I pay off my Grand Jeep Cherokee. I pay off his car. I pay off student loans. I pay off every credit card. Every credit card I had, I paid it off. We are debt free. Yay! This is why I need this. Because let me tell you what we did next. We sold that house. And we 100% financed this house. Hold on. Don't 100% finance, and do not take it out for 30 years like we did either. So that was the first step back into our debt journey. Because then we bought a couple cars, you know. We have the average American family. We got married, high school sweethearts. We pop out 2 kids in a little starter home. We sell that. We buy a nicer house with a nicer yard. So of course we need nicer cars. And our little, you know, toddler just going to school needs the best of the best school clothes. So, ching. American Eagle, Hollister, you know, well, back then it was Justice, and it was Carter, and it was, you know, so I had to have all those credit cards, because that's what my mom taught me. And, you know, we just kept going. We had Forever 21 credit cards, Maurice's credit cards. We had Chase credit cards times 2. We had Bon-Ton. Oh. Bon-Ton, I miss you. Like, that was my, like, security Bon-Ton. Like this, the deer. Bon-Ton. Everything used to come from Bon-Ton. It was, I'm looking at stuff behind me, but I had so much stuff from Bon-Ton. Okay. So we just kept going. We kept racking it up. That is how we got into this mess. And we always did great. We did fine, okay? I did wonderful. We paid our bills. Sometimes they were late. Sometimes they weren't, depended on what was going on. When it really hit us was I used to own my own business. And it was a fly-by-night, seat-of-the-pants, drunken idea that made money. It made a lot of money. It was awesome. Of course, you know, I had to stop doing, like, president of the PTA, church volunteer. I had to stop being a high school coach because it wasn't exactly, I mean, it was an up-and-up classic boutique. But I was selling intimate apparel. So I don't want, I know I'm judgy. I shouldn't be judgy because it was done very nicely. But I didn't want people to be like, oh, she sells lingerie and she's teaching my kid about religious education. So I quit all the things I did love doing. And I focused on this business because this business brought in money. Now here's the key. I didn't do anything with that money. I mean, I put it right back into the business. It was very successful. It was great. But I spent it. And I still had credit cards. I didn't pay credit cards off, or I didn't buy things with cash. I just had more money. The things that I look back and be like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Okay, so I run this business, and I run it, and I'm doing great. And guess what? I have no business credit cards. I have no business loans. I have nothing but a business checking account that money gets deposited. And then when I need to make an order or I need to pay when I paid my advertisers, I paid them up front. Like if the radio station was running an ad for me, I said, I want to know the total cost. I want to know the total runtime. I want to hear the ad, and I'm going to pay you up front. So I don't owe anyone any money. As I'm running around with 800 different credit cards. Swing, swing, ching, ching, whatever. Who does that? Oh, I needed someone to like literally crack me over the head. Just crack me over the head because I was an idiot. So my dad has some medical issues. Takes up a lot of time. Ends up moving in with us for a couple months. And I find out that these people like my business, which is great. They've made me a lot of money. Not money I did anything with. Smart. So I find out, like, I'm tired of these people. I end up being mean to these people. Like, one lady called and was like, I'm standing outside your store and you're closed today. And I said, yeah, there's, should be a sign on the door. I'm thinking it might have fallen off. I was like, my dad, just got out of surgery. And she's like, oh, and she mentions the name of my town. Ooh, sorry. I'm married to an Italian. I gotta stop. Okay, so she asks me where he's at. And I say, yeah, of course he's here. And I'm thinking she's gonna say something great about the hospital, because our hospital is wonderful. She says, oh, well, if he's out of surgery, you can just run down real fast. I'm like, no. Like, no. My family is more important than some lacy underwear or a pretty corset. I was so upset and I couldn't believe this. And a lot of my friends do own businesses, and we've talked about this, and it's so hard to put that line between your personal life and, you want your business to have a good name and you want to be there for your customers. You want to make them happy. And I know for a fact that the lingerie I sold was responsible for a couple bursts. I know that for a fact, which I'm very happy to say, you're welcome. I'm glad I could do that for you, because that's awesome. But you have to draw that line. So I get to a point, I close my business. And I'm able to. I can close the doors right then and there. I have no money owed to anyone. I've even paid my rent a year in advance. So I can just close them anytime I want. And then I left it sit there until I figured out, like, did someone want to buy it? Did someone want to take over the lease? The pressure was off. It was done. It was completely done. And I came home to my house, to my 20 different credit card bills that are sitting on my island, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? How can I run a business with absolutely no debt, no credit cards, nothing, and be open for that many years with no debt? Why am I living my personal life like this? That was my turning point. And I now have no more income. So now I have all these credit cards sitting on my island, and I have no income. And my husband, at the same time, gets like a little kick in the stomach from our kids, like, you're not around anymore. He did have a job. He was gone for 3 months at a time. It was very hard. He was making unbelievable, great money. He decides to quit his job and come to another job where he's home every night. So, now remember, we have a zillion credit cards, making over $100,000, probably like 130 grand. He was making over 130 grand by himself. Okay, that's not including my money from the store. All gone. We are going to raise they were preteens at this time. Preteens. Pay our house, pay a zillion credit cards, pay a personal loan, pay 2 vehicle loans, 2. And we dropped down to an income of $43,000. $43,000. Because, we're just sick and tired of working. Well, guess what? When you're broke, you need to go to work, not take a pay cut. So that was our turning point. Because guess what? Now we actually needed those credit cards. We needed those credit cards to buy groceries. We needed those credit cards to pay on yearbook. And guess what? A lot of them were maxed. I needed that Bon-Ton not to buy pretty decorations. I needed it to buy my kids' school clothes because we were idiots. I'll say it. We were idiots. Hold on, I need another drink. I told you this was going to be crazy and a long one. So, then we started needing these credit cards. They weren't fun anymore. Interest rates kept going up. If you missed a payment, they tacked on another $35 for a late payment fee when you couldn't even make the payment fee, because now they're not $25 minimums anymore. No, you've been using these suckers for so long that a minimum payment on one of these is like